Welcome to Daily Interior Design Inspo, your go-to podcast for affordable and modern interior design tips tailored to spaces in New York City, Westchester, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Washington, D.C. I am your host, Betsy Helmuth, and I am thrilled to share today's episode with you. We have some fantastic topics lined up that will help you transform your living spaces without breaking the bank. Today, we are diving into a problem many urban and suburban dwellers face: long, narrow living rooms. These spaces can be a chore to lay out and decorate, not to mention live in. Nobody wants to feel like they are entertaining in a train carriage or watching TV in a hallway. But do not worry, I have got 7 genius ways to make your long, narrow living room feel way less awkward. First up, triple your seating. If your long and narrow living room does not have a ton of doors or openings, you have the opportunity to do something very cool and very cozy. Jackie Cantwell's small Brooklyn Railroad apartment is a great example. She has utilized every square inch by incorporating not 1, not 2, but 3 small seating pieces up against the living room's 3 walls. A standard 3-seat sofa anchors the main far wall. For the other 2 sides, there is a small love seat, and across from that, a long bench, all creating a U-shaped conversation area. Smartly, a small round coffee table allows for easy flow around the seating area. This setup works beautifully because there are no doorways or other openings obstructing the flow of the room. Next, hug the wall and skip a sofa. If your living room is really narrow, your best bet for furniture arranging might be an unlikely one: shove the furniture all up against one wall. While you normally do not want to push all your furniture up against your walls, sometimes you just do not have any other choice. The living room in a small Barcelona apartment is a perfect example. This living room is so narrow that it is more like a hallway than a room. So to preserve the ability to walk through the spaces, the best bet is placing all the furniture along the back wall, leaving a nice open walkway from room to room. The renter of this space brilliantly disguises the room's wall-hugging furniture by incorporating chunky, oversized armchairs and a small side table placed at a diagonal. While a long sofa may have fit in this space, that arrangement would have reinforced the straight line of the walkway. Instead, the surprising furniture shapes break up the space and create a cozy hangout area. Another great tip is to create separate zones. Often, long rooms are a blessing in disguise because they can serve as open-plan spaces. Instead of having one larger but awkward living room, why not create a smaller living area, plus a den, study area, or breakfast nook? You can zone these separate areas with rugs, lights, and color so it feels intentional. For example, you can have a traditional TV area with a smaller sofa to save space, plus a cozy den-like conversation nook, complete with surrounding wall-to-wall bookshelves to really delineate the space. Fourth, alternate your furniture groupings. If possible, try to avoid having all your furniture on one side of the long wall. By alternating furniture groupings, you force the traffic flow to take on an S shape, avoiding half the room from just feeling like a straight hallway. It is a sneaky way to ensure you actually use more of the space. Number 5, arrange things across the space. When working with a long space, it is best to arrange things crosswise when possible, which visually pushes the walls outward, making the room seem wider. Instead of one sofa against the longer wall, use 2 shorter ones placed widthwise in the space. This visually pushes the walls outward, a trick that is repeated with the console table behind the sofa and the long bookshelf on the far wall. Sixth, work with the middle. Just because a room is long does not mean you need to fill it all with furniture. Centering the furniture arrangement in the middle, leaving the sides as open but not dead space, works particularly well in a symmetrical room when the furniture can be centered around a window or fireplace. Lastly, utilize an L-shaped sofa. A proper corner sofa, even more so than one with a chaise, can really use the space in a long room well. The room above uses one and several of the other tips mentioned to create a usable layout. Notice how the furniture arrangement at the other end of the room with two chairs, a side table, and a console mimics but flips the shape of the sofa too. These layout tweaks and visual tricks can transform your long, narrow living room into a space you will love. Remember, it is all about maximizing the space you have and making it work for you. Stay tuned for more design tips and inspiration in our upcoming segments. Next up, I want to share an inspiring makeover story that shows you do not have to spend a fortune to breathe new life into your kitchen. Interior designer Claire Champion and her partner John faced a common dilemma in their colorful and contemporary United Kingdom home. They initially opted for a high-gloss, handleless cabinet option in a pale blue, almost white shade. However, they quickly realized that the aesthetic felt too cold and clinical for their taste. Not only did the champions dislike the look, but the glossy doors showed every fingerprint and mark, requiring daily cleaning. Determined to create a kitchen they loved without being wasteful or breaking the bank, they decided to give their existing kitchen a makeover with a budget of just $700. The biggest issues they faced were cosmetic, mainly related to the cabinet color, finish, and lack of handles. Claire knew that a shaker style was a classic choice and unlikely to date quickly. Plus, she felt a darker color would be more practical for their lifestyle. So, she set out to transform their kitchen cabinets, diving into a process of trial and error. To achieve the shaker look, Claire enlisted some professional help from a United Kingdom-based custom cutting company called Cut My. They cut 4 pieces of medium-density fiberboard, or MDF, wood per cabinet or drawer. Claire then sanded the glossy finish off the existing cabinets and glued the MDF onto them using wood glue. The champions also found some slim wooden batons at their local hardware store that perfectly fit the gap where the previous built-in handles used to be. They glued these batons in place, effectively giving the cabinets a new, more classic look. The longest part of the process was changing the cabinet color. Claire and John had to sand and prime every part of the cabinets using bullseye primer, then sand and prime again before painting. Claire admits that this step was extremely dusty and time-consuming, but it was crucial for achieving a smooth finish. When it was finally time to paint, they applied 3 thin layers of teal paint, specifically Licks Green Aero 3. The transformation was striking, turning their previously clinical kitchen into a vibrant and inviting space. The final touch was drilling holes for new gold handles from Plank Hardware, adding a touch of elegance to the cabinets. The couple did the entire kitchen renovation themselves and learned a lot along the way. Claire recommends labeling each part of the door and taking preparation seriously if you are interested in recreating this look. All in all, they spent just over £560, or about $700, to reimagine their kitchen. Claire sums up the project beautifully. We have a kitchen that we now love and suits our needs for a few £100s. One day, we will invest in a brand new kitchen again. But this has given our existing kitchen a new lease on life, and we could not be happier with the results. If you are as impressed with the Champions Kitchen Makeover as I am, you will want to see the rest of their charming home. Visit Apartment Therapy to check out the full home tour. Now, before we wrap up this episode, I have some exciting news for all you gardeners out there. Even though summer is winding down, there is still plenty of time to get your garden in tip-top shape. Whether you have a large yard or a cozy patio garden, I have a fantastic deal to share with you that you will not want to miss. For just one more day, you can get IKEA's classic HATTHOLMEN raised plant stand for almost half off its original price. Yes, you heard that right. The Hat-Holman plant stand, which normally retails for $269.99, is currently marked down to just $159.99 as part of IKEA's clearance sale. This is an incredible deal for such a versatile piece. What makes the Hat-Holmen plant stand so special? Well, it is designed to maximize your gardening space, which is especially useful if you are working with limited room. The stand comes with a divider that allows you to create 8 small compartments for your potted plants. However, you can also remove the divider for a more flexible layout. This makes it perfect for any garden setup. To make this plant stand even more functional for small spaces, you can easily add casters to the feet, allowing you to move it around as needed. This feature is great for those times when you need to create more floor space or simply want to rearrange your garden. The Hat-Holmen plant stand is made of eucalyptus wood, which is ideal for outdoor conditions. Eucalyptus wood has a naturally high oil content, making it more resistant to water and less likely to dry out and crack. Additionally, it comes with a semi-transparent sealer that adds another layer of protection against the elements. And do not worry about the color clashing with your decor. The warm brown hue of the Hat-Holmen planter makes it versatile enough to be used indoors as well. So even if you are not much of a gardener, you can still find a stylish use for this piece inside your home. But remember, this sale price of $159.99 is only available until August 6th or while supplies last. So if you have been eyeing this plant stand, now is the time to act. Do not miss out on this fantastic opportunity to enhance your garden or indoor space at a fraction of the cost. And that wraps up today's episode of Daily Interior Design Inspo. I hope you found these tips and deals as exciting and useful as I did. Join me again tomorrow for more design inspiration and budget-friendly finds. Until then, happy decorating.